Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Well, we have still high pressure dominating most of the west coast. In fact, some areas were stuck in the fog today, for example, like Grants Pass and way out in east side. Christmas Valley, you were just stuck in the fog, and we still have high pressure that's going to stay with us for at least another 24 hours. There's been this big system way offshore, this big swirl of clouds. Eventually, this is going to move into our region and really change a whole lot of things. In fact, the air stagnation that we have throughout southern Oregon and northern California will be gone because of that system. But because we have the clear sky right now, we're going to have cold temperatures again. We're looking at 20s east of the Cascades right now. We're looking also at 30 degrees at Klamath Falls, 29 in Montague, a little bit warmer, 35 into Mount Shasta City. It's 39 here in Medford and still low 50s along the Oregon coast. Temperatures will drop into the mid 40s along the Oregon coast. We could be looking at some patchy freezing fog up and down I-5. We're forecasting 29 for Medford for tonight, 24 out in Wairika and east of the Cascades. 20s and into the teens, especially out towards Lakeview. 16 is the forecast low, 22 for Klamath Falls. Tomorrow we'll see increasing high clouds from that system as it gets a little bit closer. With the exception of Brookings, you'll see eventually some rain late. We'll get into that a little bit, but forecasting a high of 62. Boy, it was warm today. It was 71 today, so a lot cooler tomorrow, but still awfully warm. And we're going to be looking at 40s and 50s as we go for the rest of the area. 51 for Klamath Falls, 53 for Medford, 49 for Wairika. So there's that system. It's getting closer and closer, and we get to finally see some showers along the Oregon coast late in the day, but especially once we go through Sunday night, we'll start seeing those showers really start to develop from the south towards the north. Now, the big interesting thing is that south to north flow. We'll get into more about why that's important here in a little bit, but as we go through Monday morning, you can see widespread areas of rain, but there's not hardly any snow on this map. Snow levels are just going to be way too high, about 7,000 feet, especially initially with this system. Now we go through Monday night, we continue with the south flow, and here's something else I want to show you is Mount Shasta City. You're going to be in the orange and the yellow from persistent moderate to heavy rain, while just to the north of it, you're not getting a whole lot of activity. Again, we'll get into those details here in a little bit. But we go through Monday night into Tuesday morning, still plenty of showers throughout the region, and eventually this will spread off towards the east as we go through later in the day on Tuesday. Now this system is also going to generate a lot of wind as well. So Monday afternoon into Tuesday morning, we're going to be looking at some pretty strong winds along the Oregon coast. In fact, National Weather Service has a gale watch for those strong gusty winds. Also with those winds, we're going to be looking at some pretty good waves as well. We'll be seeing some of those 15 to 20 footers along the southern Oregon coast by the time we get towards Monday. We're also going to be looking at some pretty strong winds. We were just looking at that gale watch along the Oregon coast, but we're going to be looking at some pretty gusty winds, especially east side into Siskiyou County as well. But let's go ahead and break that down a little bit. We have a wind advisory from the National Weather Service for 30 to 35 mile an hour winds, gusts to 50 miles an hour for pretty much all day Monday, lasting through early Tuesday. Now shifting into Jackson County and to Siskiyou County, pretty much the Rogue and the Shasta valleys we'll be looking at. Wind gusts upwards of 45 miles an hour. They could be a little bit stronger than that, especially over towards Weed. Could be looking at 50, 55 miles an hour for pretty much all day Monday into early Tuesday. Rainfall amounts, this is where things really get interesting. 2 to 3 inches along the Oregon coast, especially along Curry County. Cascades, half an inch to an inch. But the Rogue Valley, we're going to be in that southerly flow, so we're getting a lot of downsloping. So we're not going to see a whole lot of rain from this particular system, but the surrounding mountains are going to be getting some pretty good rain. East side, you'll see a little bit more rain, about 1/10 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch, and then Shasta Valley, a wide range, about 1/2 an inch, say, by Weed, and then you get closer to Mount Shasta City, you could be looking at over 2 inches of rain. This is from for all day Sunday through Tuesday. So again, here's kind of another range about it, but look at about 1/2 an inch around the surrounding mountains through Rogue Valley, so maybe about 1/3 to 2/3 of an inch of rain. Another area that could be looking at some potentially heavy rain, Klamath Mountains and especially Mount Shasta, Dunsmuir, and the McLeod area. So we'll be looking at the high pressure moving off towards the east, and then finally we'll see rain starting to push into the region by Monday. So here's our 7-day forecast for the Oregon coast. We'll be looking at temperatures warmest for tomorrow and cooling off into the 50s by the time we get to Monday and into Tuesday this coming week. Northern California will be into the 40s through early part of Monday, and then temperatures warming back up into the 50s. Looks like pretty good rain for Monday and into Tuesday. For the Klamath Basin, temperatures in the low 50s early on, but then they'll cool off as that system moves through, and winds really picking up again for Monday and into early Tuesday, at least possibly. For the Cascades, we're not really going to see much snow. It's mostly going to be a rain event for the next several days. Maybe towards next weekend things could change. But here in the Rogue Valley, it'll be pretty windy on Monday, so plan for a wet commute if you're heading out Monday morning.